Welcome back into Illiana Stock Car Radio Podcast. And the basement, my brother's apartment.
Not the hospital room.
Not the hospital room. You've made it back home. You've survived.
Yeah, I was out that day, but man, it's been a rough week.
It's Wednesday, and you haven't worked for 2 days.
Right, but I've also got 5 new holes in my abdomen. I'm minus a not entirely essential, but convenient organ.
Sure. That's how life goes. I guess this is your PSA to watch your diet and take care of yourself.
Something like that, yeah. Apparently gallbladder surgery is the #1 most common surgery. So
almost like Americans have bad diets.
Kind of, yeah.
As we all line up at the trough at the racetrack to get hot dogs and cheeseburgers by the dozen. You know?
And they were, passing them out for free this past weekend, right?
Yes, they were over at Kankakee with one general admission purchase. You got, or free for the kids, you got one hot dog to go with. No, I didn't get mine, and no, I didn't pay to get in, so that's fine by me. That's how it goes as a hardworking racetrack employee, I suppose, right?
Got to bring your own hot dog.
Yeah. Almost said and your own pay. Yeah, we saw that one burger guy get after Knippenberg this week. So, we try to promote positivity, but we also are on Facebook and see a lot of the social media going on, whether it was a bad track or a poor decision by the flag man, whatever somebody's complaining about, we see it.
Man, I feel like you're just running down the things that we saw this week.
Yeah, we saw a lot of racing. Last week I commented on my one positive being it's been cold and rainy, but we still got racing in, and that continued this week.
Yeah, it did.
And we had a lot of sun, some decent warm weather. I was in shorts and a t-shirt. I did have to put my long sleeve t-shirt on, but it is still early May, and that's to be expected. But speaking of weather, I think last week we kind of rambled on, so I added a lot of stuff that we could talk about that was racing.
Oh, look at you planning ahead.
And, for those that follow dirt racing, Illinois Speedweek was last week, and really it was just Illinois Race 2 races last week. For that, they rained out at LaSalle, they rained out at Lincoln, Farmer City canceled. So 3 of the 5 days they were going to run canceled. They did reschedule LaSalle and Lincoln to later in the summer. But Brandon Shepard won the Spoon River and the Fairbury. Everything else was a weather cancellation. High Limit was down at Kokomo for the Sprint Car World. Let's see. Friday they canceled. And then Saturday it was Aaron Reitzel won the Brian Clausen Hero Classic with the High Limit Series down there. Let's see what else. We did race at Kankakee on Friday night. Had a decent car count, I felt. Mike Spatola winning the super late models. Mike McKinney going back-to-back in the modifieds, winning last week and this week. Matt Hammond finally got it to go around and captured the stock car feature win. Drake Compton won an absolute barn burner. I tell you what, man, it never fails. One of these classes puts on a hell of a show. And it's like just like last week when Fager almost got Osterhoff. This week, Drake Compton actually did catch Jake Montgomery on the last lap and beat him to the line just barely. And photo finish. And it's up at goodacrephotography.com/Kankakee. Find the album. Or just follow us on Facebook and click the link and go directly to it.
But most importantly,
picture on there.
Did all the equipment come home this week?
All the equipment came home in one piece.
As long as Spatola survived victory lane.
Yeah, he did. I did. The camera did. The flash did. We're all good.
All right.
Richard Zivko won the Sport Compact. Jerry Lagner won the Crown Vics. I don't think he's lost yet when he's been there.
That sounds pretty on brand for him.
And I think they had 5 Lagners racing.
That sounds pretty on brand for them.
I think Gavin made it out. And then Tim Hamburg wins the Vintage, Kankakee County Vintage Series. And then Grundy race Friday night. They
They
actually had their
did.
doubleheader. Why don't
Yeah,
you
you know
tell us
what?
all
We
about
we
Grundy?
had honestly we had some excellent weather Friday night. I'm pretty sure Aaron was wearing his closet again, but for those of us that have some meat on our bones and a missing gallbladder because of it, it was beautiful weather. um, so mid-ams were the premier division Friday night, and you'll see why here in a second because we ran 8 divisions over 2 days. Kevin Murphy picking up the win there. Matt Ciara picking up the win via DQ, unfortunately, in the pure stocks. Dylan Roberts picked up his first career win and then just immediately lost it. So, here's hoping he can get another chance. But congratulations to Matt Ciara picking up the win. We'll have to get him down to victory lane for an actual picture here next time the pure stocks are running, which I should have on a schedule, but don't get me started on Grundy's schedule and which divisions are racing which night. Eddie Legui picking up the win in the Crown Vic division, and Evander Peterson bringing home the win in the Midwest Super Cup Series, not to be confused with the Grundy County Super Cup Series, which raced Saturday night. So Saturday, we had our first super late model event of the year, the Wayne Carter Classic. We kind of borrowed from the Midwest Tour since they're running the Bettenhausen with us this year. Split twin 50s, Ricky Baker picking up the first one, Max Kaler picking up the second, and the overall win on that. Chad Bayou once again bringing back old school street stock race and picking up the street stock feature. Brianna Riggins, I think, making it 2 for 2. I have to check my notes on that. And the Sixers, and Rob Bask. He was actually telling me before I started racing that he was running a throwback to his old Dirt Late model, which, if the old Dirt Late model was in fact just an all black car with a neon green duct tape number, I'm all for it. But I picked up the win there. So, since it's one of the elephants in the room, shout out to JoJo Claus, formerly JoJo Fadke, who I think might have, if not set the altitude record, got close in her Super Cup car there in the second Super Cup heat. Her and I think kind of the whole race kind of got together, and she got shoved up into the wall, launched nose up, rolled over, came back down, did a whole pirouette. And since it's one of those kind of dangerous, not that racing is not dangerous, but we elected to pull those pictures and give them directly to JoJo. She can do whatever she wants to with them, but we will not be publishing those. I think Dimmitt had a similar deal go down with his video, because it's just, and we've been asked this picture a lot. Why don't we take pictures that we could possibly get subpoenaed for? And a lot of it is just kind of, I don't know, respect mostly. I don't want to publicize, hey, we had to cut a car apart and there's potentially some medical issues going on, or here's the mugshot lineup for the county jail this weekend.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a personal thing that we don't do. We don't do stuff that we're going to get subpoenaed for.
I asked the person first before I do post them, and oddly enough, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
I've yet to be told no. I do usually lead with, hope you're okay. Hey, can I post these?
Oh, this one I actually got JoJo coming to me. Hey, did you get any pictures? Yeah, I just got out of surgery. Can you give me a minute?
I was gonna say, because she posted it and made a comment about it and how high she got.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess you can insert a joke about high in Illinois and whatever. Anyway, it seemed to be a pretty eventful weekend there.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
we got a little.
You and I were sharing wrecks.
We got a little bit of a sprinkle Saturday too, so a little bit of weather coming through, not enough to cause any issue to the racing, just enough to rain on my note sheet, and I have to rewrite some of the driver names, because I got this fancy notepad that supposedly you can write in the rain, but apparently just washes the ink away. Paper survives.
I say paper might be okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
paper's fine. That's probably the pen I'm using.
You need to get yourself a rainproof pen.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I know you and I were also texting back and forth. Rex, you sent that one. I saw one on Facebook from I want to say like Racing America maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They sent, or a car actually did exit the speedway, and I think you sent one right
Yeah,
away
another
back
one that
from
tried to get out.
Owasso, was it? You know, where the throttle stuck on Junior Fitzpatrick
Mm-hmm.
in that
Yeah,
Outlaw Super
and
Late Model
now that I
race.
think of it, Tim Cox was there to run the super late model race. Didn't get to it. Got the 5-star auto body hard luck award because his throttle stuck going into 3 at Grundy, and he kept it in the park, but not for lack of trying.
Jeez, rough Saturday night on race cars, I
Yeah.
guess, huh? But we got all of our racing in at Shady Hill. We did get the White Lightning portion in. Had Kurt Spalding and Tyler Spalding went 1-2 in qualifying, which was really cool. But it was Cameron Scheidler, one of our favorite listeners that always likes to harass you about being an asphalt fan and not liking dirt.
I never said I
Ended up
don't like
drawing the number
dirt.
one.
I just have
And
contractual obligations to asphalt.
yeah, and local hero Brad DeYoung pulled the 2, and Cameron had the lead there for the first lap or so, and then a quick caution reeled him back in, and Brad was able to get him on the restart, and off he went. And Kurt Spalding came with, and they were putting on a good race, and I think lap 7 or 8 was a late caution, and just Brad had a really good restart again, and just Kurt couldn't catch him. So Brad ended up bringing home the $5,000 payday and the White Lightning, and then proceeded to have a flat tire in the regular feature, where another local legend, hero, Nick Allen, led most of the regular feature that night, the points feature. But Kurt got up there and was racing with them and got a caution and was able to get him on the caution, and then was leading there for a few laps, and then another late caution happened, and Nick really tried to get him on the next restart, but Kurt was just a little bit too much for him, and ended up being a really great race that ended up finishing with Kurt winning that one. And then we had Trevor Bitterling winning the, I was about to say factory stock bomber class, which we had 30 bombers. That was awesome, man. There's so many race cars.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Kyle Cooper win the Rebel late model. And the drama, so we had a little drama Friday night after a wreck in the late models. Not to be outdone, Shady Hill, we had one of our late model guys get a little upset, and then the video posted to Facebook very briefly before it was taken down. But he was not happy with the situation he got caught up in, and there's pictures out there everywhere, and I'm sure he'd be happy to tell you what happened. And then Skylar Antonelli making his return to the Speedway in the 4-bangers and capturing that feature. Yeah, it was a really good opening night. It was a little drawn out as always with White Lightning first. We don't really start racing until closer to probably 7:30, 8 o'clock out there, and it was open. It was first opening night, man. You got the first night jitters and want to beat and bang and race, and shit. The first 2 heats took almost an hour to get done, and then finally started clicking races off, and that was nice. We did have to fill some divots that reopened and whatnot, and that's dirt racing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the professional way to say it is the track had a lot of character. But there's
yes,
good
but
racing
as Dirty
all
Bob
the way.
says, it's the same track for everybody.
That's right. But it was good racing all around, every class. Good show of cars. Hopefully we get some more late models out there, but we were at, I think, 6 or 7 or 8. 8. We were at 8. So hopefully we get some more show up throughout the year. I know Montpelier got their night in. Finally, I know they've been having some weather issues. New Paris got their night in, and I only bring that up because our buddy Boujou was on the mic that night.
He was.
And I know he's got a pretty cool podcast going too.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys head east and you get to know Boujou, he's a good dude. He really supports racing.
Yep.
Does a lot of cool stuff. Way cooler than us because he's got less contractually obligated things to do.
That's true.
So give him a follow over there. Not that he's paid for the sponsor, but we're here just plugging the sport. We don't really care.
We do care.
But if you do want to sponsor, we do care.
Right. And Dirty Bob, we are working on something to get back to you with.
Yes, we will. We will get a real advertisement package set up and what kind of offers we think would be the right value. Right now we've got I think 28 followers, so we got some work to do, and hopefully we bring some good content. I know our plan is to bring weekly content. I'm not going to necessarily say that it's good at all, but we'll be here every week to
right, surgery or no
about racing. What's that?
Surgery or no, we'll be here.
That's right. As I sit here thinking, I got so much work to do. Do I even want to go on and talk? Like, we don't have anybody to talk to. But then I was like, well, we did such a rough job last week rambling on about the same shit we always do. I'm like, we got to do something. We can't leave on that, so we got to keep going.
Right.
And I didn't really go after any talent this week. I'm sure we could have got Brad to come on and talk, or maybe Ricky Baker or something. But ultimately, I kind of wanted to see if we can improve on just the two of us. And of course, you're fresh off a surgery table, and I'm eyeball deep in work that needs to be done. It's Wednesday.
You can't really see it on camera right now with our layout, but I got all the pictures printed from last weekend that I'm stuffing into the albums tonight, and that'll take the rest of the night.
Yeah, definitely. So we
did
full swing over
divisions last weekend.
Yeah, and I mean that's the argument is you need if you can't get the front door, you need the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm done. You need if you can't get the tickets through the front
gate,
you gotta get the tickets through the
back gate.
And so having more divisions helps,
Yeah.
And then you start the debate on is too many entry divisions. Now if you just combine them all, basically. Right?
Yes and no. I mean, I feel like at Grundy there is obviously some divisions have more participation than other, but I feel like there's enough of each type of car to justify each type of division.
Yeah.
And they're trying some new stuff with this super late model 6-pack series, doing longer races, trying to attract more cars for better payout, which, I think we had 18 or 19 before Tim Rex, so we had a decent turnout, and there was some big dogs in that race. I got a picture. Actually, each race I got my favorite picture in each. The first one I got a picture of Eddie Hoffman and Larry Schuler and Richie Bickle racing together. And I thought, well, this is kind of like the old hat veterans. And then the next race I got a picture of Ricky Baker and Paulie Schaefer and DJ Weltmeyer. It's like the exact same picture, but two different generations of racing. This is awesome. And they're all in the same race together.
That's awesome that some old dogs are still going at it.
All right, and all the way up until Larry, right about 2/3 of the way down the backstretch, the wall juts out a little bit, and I don't know if he had help getting up there, just ran out of room or what, but Larry caught that, and he was running up front all the way up until that, and then I'm sure it knocked some stuff out of alignment, but Larry Schuler being Larry Schuler aged and still running competitively. Ricky told me Larry's got a brand new everything this year. So if you look at the pictures, you see it's kind of I was talking about kind of a throwback to, God, and it was like the late 80s, early 90s. Larry had an all-white car with a blue number. I asked if Ricky did a throwback to that, and he said, no, we just wanted to get stickers on the car. It's a brand new car.
Well, that's better than duct tape numbers, I suppose. It is. When he does a throwback to this car in another 30 years.
Right.
No, that's awesome to see those old guys still going, those younger guys come up, and it's hard to say that DJ's even, he's technically the next generation, but he's been racing with these guys for 10, 15 years
and
already.
Even Hoffman was putting on a hell of a race with Kaler until I want to say had a tire go down with like maybe 1 or 2 to go in the second race,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was shaping up to be a photo finish.
Yeah. Damn. I guess it's not only Kankakee.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. Well, we've got nowhere to talk to, and so I guess we're just gonna head on into the upcoming events.
Oh, you don't
I
want to
think
start any drama?
I already did that. We
Okay.
talked about the Facebook drama. We talked about the the fighting and the bullshit at the tracks. We mentioned it. We didn't
We
really
did.
talk about it. But we try to stay positive. And
Speaking
on a
of,
positive note, it looks like Plymouth is gonna get their opening night.
I hope so, man.
Fingers crossed.
They've had a rough go already, and I know everybody's got a weather app in their pocket, but I applaud them for attempting, and B, calling it early enough for other if the weather does hold out, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
And if
but
you're traveling from Missouri to
right,
race, you got time to not make that travel.
right,
But exciting, positive news is Kenny Wallace is booked to race the Kevin Sauer number 24 Outlaw late model in Friday, May 15th, finally opener with the Grand Slam. If you don't know how that works, which is kind of where I'm at right now because I haven't paid enough attention to how it works. I know how it used to work back when they first did it, and now they've kind of changed it up a little bit. And maybe I should go back and listen to Ryan on that on that first episode we did.
yeah, probably.
But they've got the layout on Facebook. They post, go follow them on Facebook at PlymouthMotorspeedway.com if you don't already. But that's certainly going to be exciting. I know they've been posting a lot of the entries that are guaranteed entries, not even expected. These are guys that are supposed to be there, not expected to be there, but So along with opening night, which I believe would just be their weekly classes are showing up to race. So Plymouth will hopefully, fingers crossed, they get it in.
Yeah.
And get Kenny Wallace to race. And looks like they're doing a meet and greet, signing autographs with them from like 6:30, 7:30, and no extra charge.
Right. You
Just
show up and get to talk to Kenny
ticket.
Wallace.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That should be
Having talked to Kenny Wallace, he's a good conversation.
Yeah. I think I caught him at Kankakee one time.
Okay.
Yeah,
we had him on the podcast back in the before times, and he was guest speaker a couple years back at the Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame. So, I feel like I run into Kenny Wallace a lot these days.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll be out west on Friday.
Yes, you will, for the Armed Forces Night with Big 8 double features, along with pure stock. So I guess you can get your Ciara.
Yeah, there we go.
Photo Friday night. Crown Vics and the Midwest Mayhem Midgets.
I think they're Midwest Pavement Midget Series now.
What did I call them? Mayhem?
Yeah, that was like last year or the year before. They changed their name a bit. But yeah, Sammy Swindell going to be out there racing with the Midget Series.
I guess all the other tracks are going to have to step their game up. They keep getting these big names. Let's see, what else is going on Friday? Kalamazoo is doing Fast Friday weekly shows. Hartford has the Great Lakes TS something sprints. It's not the Super Sprints, which will be at
Touring Sprints
Saturday night. What?
Touring Sprints?
I'm not sure. You can find
Cody,
them on
let
Facebook.
us know what the T.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Let's see. They've got their 4-cylinder class, their Crown Vics up there at Hartford going Friday night. Farmer City is a full show with kids mods on Friday night if you're in that area. Kankakee is a weekly racing with big wheels. So if you got a kid and they want to get out on the track and race, we're doing big wheel races Friday night at Kankakee County Speedway. I am going to take a shot in the dark and say during admission. And it's like basically probably 2 different classes of younger kids and older kids right there on the front stretch. You can follow them at Kankakee County Speedway on Facebook, KankakeeCountySpeedway.com. Reach out to them if you have any questions. I do believe they have a flyer out there with all the information you'll need for the kid big wheel races. Um, let's see what else we got. Mars late models and mods have a triple header this weekend. They're going to Quincy on Friday, Highland on Saturday, and then Coles County on Sunday. I know local guy Matt Baker's shooting for the Sunoco Rookie of the Year, and he announced that he'll be out there all 3 days, putting in the work and drive time out there. Eldora's got two. Let's see, they got a Friday, Saturday show out there at Eldora with World Outlaw and USAC sprints. Let's see. Saturday, we've got Montpelier's got their Ultimate Heart of America super late show. M40's running some sort of Crown Vic thing with 7. They got 7 divisions at M40. That's ridiculous. That's wild.
I'm glad you're so prepared.
As we just said, Grundy just did 8. But
yeah, Grundy just did 8 out of their 10.
Yeah. Fairbury has their Falls Cup with actually, so they're going to, premier track with premier divisions, but they're actually running 4-cylinder Saturday night out there at Fairbury. And I'll be at Shady Hill shooting the Great Lakes Super Sprint Series. Rebel late models are off, so we'll have the Bombers, Modifieds, and 4-bangers with the Great Lakes Super Sprints, which we kind of touched on a little bit. Was that last week? No, it would have been 2 weeks ago when we were talking with Billy and Tammy. That's an exciting time. I know you can follow Great Lakes Super Sprints on Facebook. They're really pushing a lot of their stuff. I think they'll be at Limaland over in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say it. I guess it's kind of close over the Indiana-Ohio State border. They'll be out there Friday night. South Bend. So you might make this trip. I don't really know, but
that's the plan.
South Bend
right
will be racing street stocks and
their Night of Destruction. Yep.
And I know that there's a little bit of rain and some weather looking for this weekend, so stay on top of the weather.
Crossed.
Yeah, it is only Wednesday, so it could change 4 times by Friday. But follow on Facebook, be in the know, see what's going on, what is able to get in. Get out and support your racetracks while we got them. And I know I just listed off a ton of racing. That's left to right, top to bottom. You'll notice that there's no Wisconsin tracks because I didn't have time to research Wisconsin tracks. But
I'll give you this one. The Mid-Am Series has their new season opener at WIR this Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't write that down. Oh, I wrote it down somewhere else. I wrote it down over here in these notes. And speaking of these notes, I have here, it's May, it's Indiana, and you know what that means. Next weekend is the Indianapolis 500. So all of us race fans, whether it's, we go to the local dirt track, short track, whatever, we'll all sit down and watch the Indianapolis 500 next Sunday morning, presuming weather's good.
Right.
It is Indiana, who knows, right?
You're supposed to.
You got anything to say about that? No, you're just gonna roll. Awkward silence. You still on those pain meds?
A little bit.
Yeah, so that's always a good time, and for us NASCAR nuts, they got the Coke 600.
I've made a habit of watching both if I can. We've had mini wedges scheduled a few times over the Indy 500. I think we're in the clear this time around. I want to say next mini wedge is June 7th, which is also autograph day. So Brian was supposed to have a post up while I was incapacitated about getting your autograph card orders in, but I'm sure by the time that this goes live, we will have one on our page. Right.
We will. So take my time machine back to Wednesday, back to tonight. I'm working on it. Beep, 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 beep. I'm surprised I haven't gotten beaten over the head by Shady Hill guys.
I am starting to get beat over the head, but so we will. Well, if it's not up yet, it will be by the time you're watching this. That get autograph night called out, get your card orders in, get your T-shirt orders in. We do make those. Not to twist the knife to Brian a little bit more.
I've got 3 in the chamber. I just got to get the pricing done and designs done once we kind of agree on pricing. And for anybody interested, please do not ask me how much I charge per shirt because I will answer with I need a lot more information.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's kind of like, what do you
I
charge
need
for weddings? Well, what do you want?
right. And truthfully, that would be something where here's our wedding packages. You
Right.
choose shirts
Well,
or
we can work on some stuff with that.
yeah. Well, like that's the thing is some people want them just for themselves and their
Right.
team. So you're looking at 12 to 15 shirts. And there's other people that want like 200. So
Right.
it's
Here's
a
a
very
tip that
fluid situation.
that does change the pricing a bit.
It does because if you're only getting like 12 or 15 and you want 14 colors, I'm gonna have to DTF it, and I hate DTFs. But if you want like one or two colors, we can make that work too, and that's a lot better, just a lot better
Yeah.
in general. Period.
Yeah, I gonna have to agree.
You know, yeah, you do text me quite a bit of how much you hate AI
Hmm.
and I know you and I go back and forth on how much we hate DTFs and because we don't think they look good. They have a purpose.
They
They're a
do.
quick
Yeah.
they're a quick fix, and we'll do them, but we won't recommend them
Right.
unless you're getting like 4 shirts, which for a minimum screen print you need 12. All right, enough rambling. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're getting into
But if
shop
you do
talk.
care, reach out to us.
So, what's your one positive?
My one positive is nobody got arrested this weekend, despite all the
That is
bullshit that happened.
positive.
Yeah, nobody got arrested. I mean, we were kind of close Saturday night at Shady Hill, but the cop and the race car driver in which was apprehended are good friends and worked it out to where nobody had to go get a free ride in the back of a police car. So that is definitely a positive. It probably shouldn't be my one positive, but because I'm on the spot, I ran
You
with it,
didn't
and I
think
wasn't
through
going to
this
say
beforehand?
no.
Okay.
I spent all my beforehand time
Yeah,
writing
writing
down
down
what's
future
happening.
dates and
Write down what's happening. What's your one positive? That you made it off the surgery
so
table?
yeah, my one negative is gallbladders.
Yeah,
Now
you are
I'm
down one,
short
aren't you?
one. But yeah, my one positive is going to be she looks like she went through a bar fight, but she came out of her impromptu airplane lesson unscathed. So shout out to JoJo for taking one for the team. I don't know. Nah, that's terrible. No, taking it like a champ, maybe. I don't know.
So we
So
had no police car rides and no ambulance
right,
rides. That's a
we did have a
successful
race
weekend at
car
the
become an
racetrack.
airplane, which Stan
Yeah.
Zolod's always argues against at the RC track. They make better race cars than airplanes. So,
Mine makes a better snowplow.
that's true, but you haven't raced Stan enough. You tend to snowplow the lower division.
Well, that's because I'm too slow.
So I've raced Stan enough that my car has become an airplane repeatedly.
Yes. All right. Well, that's our one positive. It's gonna be a quick show.
Yeah. And Brian's gonna have this edited before we're done recording.
I don't want to ramble on like last week over the same old stuff.
No, but you can list our sponsors, the ones that we've gifted spots.
Give me a minute, man. Let me finish my thought.
I'm segueing.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate it. I know Travis Larson. He and I talked Monday, and he was expecting a paycheck because he listened to he listened or watched the entire episode. And I thought, son of a bitch, that's awesome. So I'm sure he'll get this far easily without a problem.
Paycheck.
So thanks to everyone listening to this far on us rambling, and hopefully you're enjoying the content. It's not super exciting, but we're keeping you up to date on all the local racing stuff. More so Grundy, Plymouth, South Bend, Shady Hill, and Kankakee, because that's where we're at. That's where we get to see everything kind of happen live and know it and report on it, sort of situation. But yeah, I look forward to kind of bringing you as much regional racing as possible. Maybe some of the big traveling series and where they're headed. Of course, you guys can all find that on Flow Racing and on their websites. But thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to our supporters. Thanks to our sponsors,
Thanks, Mom.
which currently is After Hours Mowing. As soon as we ink that deal, he'll be on here officially. And obviously,
well, hey,
S4
it's getting to be
Motorsports
summer.
and Damn It Videos.
Be summer. You got to get that lawn mowed.
Yes, you do. I need him to.
And I say, you got a lawn.
I'm too busy. But I did get mine done on Tuesday, or Monday. I got it done Monday before it rained.
See, I got a lot of sleep done on Monday.
Yeah. So thanks to S4 Motorsports. Thanks to Damn It Videos. Always catching the good stuff out there at Grundy. I'm not sure if he's got anything planned out east this year with them also racing Friday.
It kind of depends on his schedule too. Yeah, it's hard to be in two places at the same time, as we've learned over the years. Sure. And he's got only one of him where there's multiple Goodacres.
Yeah. And then, of course, thanks to Goodacre Photography and Design. You and I are the kind of brains behind. Maybe we're not the brains. We're the. I guess we'll be the brains behind it.
What am I getting accused of?
But I don't know.
Okay.
Being the brains behind Goodacre Photography and Design. But yes, support your local racetracks, your local racers, all the advertisers and sponsors. I know Bill Yonka over at X Country 106.5 every Thursday morning about 7:15. Him and Joe Sturrer. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'll have to figure that out. Come on, 106.5 if you're in that area. I don't know that we get it up here in Valpo. But I know on Mondays when I deliver to Morocco and Kentland and Fowler, I listen to Bill a little bit, or at least the country music. I don't know that I've ever heard him talk actually in the 2 hours I listen. But yeah, every Thursday morning about 7:15 they come on and talk a lot of Kankakee. Kankakee County Speedway. I should be a little more specific. So if you're out in that area, or if they stream, I know 105.5 here in Valpo streams. So maybe they've got a streaming deal that you can get on.
You should find that out on Friday.
Yeah. So be sure to check them out. Support those that support us and keep our world moving right along. Get to the racetrack this weekend.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that the weather holds out and racetracks race. And if not, I guess put your feet up and watch some Flow Racing. Someone will be racing somewhere.
There you go.
Thanks, everyone, again for listening. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you at the racetrack.